recently, as part of my job, I've been working on a big project out of Sunnybrook Hospital, which has been really amazing because I've had the chance to spend a lot of time with doctors and researchers and patients, very frail, sick people who are, sort of in dire straits, and we're trying to identify some of the big challenges with the healthcare system and how to fix them. And one story that I came across recently that sort of stuck with me, and I think will for a long time, occurred while I was shadowing a housekeeping team that was cleaning up a floor. The housekeepers face a very, very big job because they have to protect patients from hospital-acquired infections and other bacteria that are rampant in hospitals. So we were watching a housekeeper as she prepared to ready a room, a double patient room, for a new patient. One patient was being sent home, so she had to basically strip the bed, clean the entire room, and make it sanitary for the new patient who has probably been waiting for a couple of days in a hallway somewhere for that bed. On the other side of the curtain, there was a husband and wife, and they knew that we were there and that there was a reporter and a photographer from the Globe and Mail. But it just so happened that while we were in the room, the man's doctor came in and he asked the man how he was feeling and how things were going. And within a couple of minutes, I realized that what this man was actually started talking about was that he was breaking the news to his wife that he no longer wanted to continue with any of his treatments, and so he was basically accepting the fact that he was going to die probably very soon. He told her that there was no point to going through with treatment anymore, that it wasn't doing any good, it wasn't going to sustain his life, and why put himself through all of that pain and misery if there was no payoff at the end. And the wife was obviously very distraught and trying to sort of convince him otherwise, saying that, there's a good chance it could work and he had a lot to live for. And it was a very, very difficult discussion for them to go through. And the doctor tried to sort of stay on the sidelines as much as he could, but, it was one of those moments where you realized this is something that it's not just affecting, this husband and wife. This is something that a lot of people will have to confront at some point in their lives. And I think that, we do ourselves a real disservice when we sort of imagine ourselves living for a really long time and not picturing what that will look like. We don't think about what's our plan going to be if we're incapacitated or we have a chronic illness. Are we going to move into a long-term care facility? Do we have family that can take care of us? Do we want to continue with treatment? And I think there's a mentality in our society of denying death and sort of accepting medical intervention at all cost, but we don't necessarily think about what the quality is at the end of that. And so, every person has to think about that question on their own, but it's a really important one.